biggest focus been now during the coronavirus? So my biggest focus is really simple. One, stabilization. I want to make sure that I stabilize culture and cash, and then be able to stabilize other people with their cultures and their cash, and then look for opportunity. And those are the things that I'm doing. I'm sticking to an adaptable routine, putting my health first, so a minimum of an hour a day on my health, then my family, so a minimum of 30 minutes with my wife, 30 minutes with my 9-year-old, 2 minutes with my teenagers, 1 minute with my mom, and then an extra couple minutes for people I haven't talked to, and then being a student of my calendar. It's amazing. The biggest challenge that I have is even to get my team, who are all still employed, still working from home, still doing their best to provide you value, but just cannot get people to get in the habit of being a student of their calendar. You would think being at home would be easy, but people will create their own interferences, obstacles, and voids and shortages. Uh, and we see the productivity, accessibility, and gratitude of where people are at. And hopefully they will learn that practice. Can we go on live? I have a very important question regarding leadership and energy. Yeah, let me get you on here, and let me make sure we got the people. I don't see you on there, Josie, so I can't go live if you're not on there. I apologize. How are you? I'm doing great. Thank you. Let's get to the next question. Best way to overcome fear to film, document yourself journey. Practice. Any, it's very simple. You got to practice ending fear. So whatever it is that you're afraid of, and everybody's afraid of different things, you got to practice ending it. Baby steps, lower the bar, 2 minutes a day, whatever it takes. You need to practice ending fear. Whatever it is you're afraid of, we want to focus in on something that overcomes that one particle of light overcomes millions of particles of darkness, and we do that through practicing ending fear. So if you're afraid of filming yourself, keep on filming yourself. I always use this analogy. If my kids ask me how, don't I get nervous standing on stages with thousands of people? I don't, because if I ask them to stand on stage and clap once, they would not be afraid because they are so confident in their ability to clap. Well, when we practice something, so I practice what I do on stage so much that it's like clapping. The same thing with filming yourself, documenting yourself. Go ahead. The other part is too, you cannot listen to the laughs, the scoffs, people making fun of you. You can't vote for what they want. You got to go ahead. Eventually they'll applaud you. They will make fun of you at first because they're afraid of something. But don't let that stop you. Don't let that create interference. Absolutely stick to practicing ending fear, everyone. That is definitely the lesson of the day. Um, Here we go. Best way for people to stay mentally healthy during the physical crisis. Ah, practice being positive. So the best way is to focus in on, the positive things, look to develop and to improve. What I talk about is learn to find the light, the love, and the lessons in everything that you do. If you can do that, you will stay positive and you won't allow that negative energy. Quarantine the positive ideas in your head, and that will keep out the negative energy, right? So when you get those positive thoughts, actions, words, beliefs, it'll only enhance the subconscious and unconscious mind. So practice being positive, practice focusing in on what you do want, not what you don't want. Excellent, excellent questions, everybody. How many TikToks are good to post a day? Is 5 too much? I don't think so. 5 is fine. I'm not an expert at TikTok. I don't know who is, and I'm not sure if it's real, fake, or what. But look, man, I'm believing quality content and consistent posting of quality content. So if you got 5 pieces of quality content that resonates with the spectrum of people that watch TikTok, man, post it. What's it going to hurt? I wish I could come up with 5 great pieces of content for TikTok that resonated in that spectrum with a clear message. Uh, but I'm a middle-aged mutant turtle. Doesn't really transcode over there to TikTok all the time. But if I could dance, man, I could rip it up on TikTok, don't you think? I could do a little break dancing or something. I can do the splits. Maybe if I get enough people, I'll do the splits someday and show everybody because people doubt that uh, as well. My TikTok is at David Meltzer. Yep. Thank you, Jakey Bakey. Say hi to Bubby for me. How often or when do you reflect on your rock bottoms? I don't focus in on what I don't want. There's a helicopter coming to get us. Look at that. Unbelievable. See that? cameraman. Uh, anyway, I reflect on the lessons that I've learned from different times of struggle, but I don't focus ever on rock bottom. Let's see what's going live here. Let's look here. Hopefully I didn't make people wait too long. Hey, Paul, you're there. Let's do this. Awesome. Thank you for your patience. I got the famous Paul Gelder. What's up, buddy? Come on. Look at this. Look at all. Hey. Sorry about before. How are you?
That's all right, mate. I admire your perseverance. There was no sound for about 10 minutes and you were still talking.
And of course, when you jump on, I got a helicopter circling above. So
Yeah.
hopefully, give me a second. I don't know what they're looking for. I wanted to have you on because obviously you are what I consider an expert of practicing ending fear, right? You know, what you do is incredible, but you must have mastered some ability, mental, physical, emotional ability to practice ending fear. What are some of the tips that you can give to people to practice ending fear, especially in a time like this where the fear is not as materialized as the fear that you face?
Well, the fear that I face, it was incrementally destroyed through 12 years in the military, doing 7 years with the Army Airborne, and then 5 years with the Navy clearance divers. So that over course of time teaches you to overcome those fears, basically because you don't have a choice, because the military makes you do these things and you can't say no. So you really have to confront that fear. And that's what trained me to realize that I can push beyond the boundaries that I have self-perceived about myself, and to really face these fears head on. So, and also when you've come as close to death as I have, you realize that there's just nothing left to fear. Death is not scary. Death is like, I was with an inch of my life ready to die, and I realized that death wasn't scary. It was right at the crux at that point where I was going to die. It was actually wondering whether or not I was ready to die, and whether I had regrets before, in those final moments. So I think the best thing you can do is just face those fears head on. If you're not ready for that, if that fear is just too big, then work at it incrementally and build up to that.
It's interesting because I always say about death that, I'm not afraid of dying, but I'm not ready to die. Is that?
Yeah,
I'm
well,
not.
Discovery Channel tries to kill me every year, so I'm not afraid of dying. I'm not trying to die. I'll fight against them every step of the way, but yeah, it really isn't that scary. It feels like it's just the entrance to another adventure.
It's interesting too because there's two types of fear. There's certain fear, like when you're swimming around with sharks. You can see and feel and materialize that fear. There's actually something there to be afraid of. But then there's the uncertain fear that exists today, and it's compressed. The future always carries uncertainty. Is there any distinction between those two types of fear, certain fear, and you've dealt with both, but certain fear and uncertain fear?
Well, I think sharks is a poor example of certain fear, because it is fairly uncertain, and I think it's actually a good example, because it's a certain fear that's uncertain, same as life. Life is going to have those certain fears that everyone, well, not everyone, a lot of people are going to come across, but it's not realistic most of the time. So you're going to have more risk of dying in a car accident on the way to the beach than you ever are of being attacked by a shark. So it's pretty similar. I think we fear unrealistically a lot of the time, and I think a lot of our fears are unwarranted. But that's our survival mode, and it's because of a lot of things that we do in life. One of them is we overwatch the media. And we all know that they are the fear mongers, because that's what gets clicks and that's what sells papers.
Wait. You're talking about the news, not the Discovery Channel. We don't overwatch the Discovery Channel. We overwatch the news.
No. Discovery Channel is totally fine, especially during Shark Week.
Yeah.
And look, we utilize fear, we utilize emotions, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think that we're supposed to suppress these feelings. You know, in the human experience, we're supposed to experience the full spectrum of human emotion. And I think fear is part of that: joy, happiness, love, you know. So what we do is we play on that, and we try and provide, just like when I do my presentations on stage, when I travel, I try to give an experience of the full spectrum of human emotion, because that's what makes us feel alive.
It's
So I don't
interesting.
think there's anything wrong with the fear. I don't think there's too much difference with it. I think that we actually create a lot of these fears for ourselves, and we actually need to trust in the process a little bit more, because we got this far. We're going
Yeah,
to be all right.
yeah, we will be. And, you know, it's interesting. I teach people to practice their, you know, and develop skills, knowledge, and desire, which create more certainty in a situation. So, you know, whether it was the military background you have or your skills, knowledge, and desire to work with sharks, you know, that created more certainty of an uncertain or scary situation. How do you develop those? You know, is there a daily practice worth more than, you know, I preach about, you know, 2 minutes a day is worth more than 2 hours on a Saturday? Or are there some techniques about, you know, lowering the bar and practicing things that create that consistent certainty?
I think for me personally, I love routine. A lot of my life doesn't have routine, especially when I'm away on the Shark Week shoots. It's very sporadic, and the traveling, you know what traveling and speaking is like, living in hotels and eating the food. And I'm also plant-based, so trying to get food when you're traveling to places like Kansas City or, you know, that sort of stuff. So, yeah, when I'm at home, I thrive on that routine and that consistency. I get up, I work out, just like I did in the military. You know, it was when I was laying in my hospital bed, 2 days after I'd had my leg chopped off after nearly getting attacked by a shark. I was trying to work out, what is it that I can do that is going to start me on the path to getting back to taking my career back, because that was the big goal that I wanted. And actually, funny, we were just talking about fear, because fear was the major motivator for me at that point, because I was terrified that I was going to lose my job. So I used that fear to motivate me and push me past my pain boundaries. So 2 days after I've had my leg chopped off, I'm working out in my bed. I can't even go to the toilet by myself. I'm pulling myself up on the bar above my bed. I've got TheraBands, elastic bands to the bars around my bed, trying to work out. And that was the first step. So you got to work out your first step. How are you going to take that that first scary big step into the unknown? But I've always discovered that taking those big scary steps into the unknown are the times that we force ourselves into growth, and they're always the best decisions that we ever make.
And my mindset, last question, is so important through those struggles. And right now, you know, it's important for us to kind of smile through the struggles, to enjoy, you know, that pursuit of being our better, higher self. And, you know, managing fear is one part, but having the mindset to enjoy or smile through struggle is so important. And you seem to be someone that has a higher acumen. My son wants to say hi, sorry.
Hello, mate. How you
Gotta get real.
going?
But, you know, obviously that's one way I smile through my struggles and get motivated. But, you know, are there some techniques that you use to keep that mindset, a positive mindset through struggle?
Well, it's exactly what you were talking about before. You know, how do we get better at riding a bike? How's your son learning to read and write? How's he? You know, we practice. You know, our physical movements are no different to an emotional state. If you're going to practice negativity and you're going to be the dark, then guess what happens? But if you transform that and you be the light that you want to see in other people, that is practicing that joy and that happiness, and not just for yourself, but you're spreading it onto someone else. So now two people get to share in that happiness and joy, and it just grows from there. So you surround yourself in the things that you love, the people that you love. This time doesn't have to be bad right now. We're getting to spend time with our family, one-on-one. You can build up really strong bonds over this period of time, work out new ways to play, to work out. We can actually grow over this period in a great way.
We can binge watch Discovery, especially the Shark Week, and check
Absolutely.
out Paul. It's the first time I've been able to binge watch anything. It's so much fun with my family. They're showing me all the shows that they love, and yours is one of them. So I really
Beautiful.
appreciate you taking the time to come on with me.
No worries, mate. Take it easy.
You too, brother. Take care. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. There we go. You never know who shows up here on live once you get the sound working and the helicopters outside. This is family time. Look at that. Super Miles is here. Let's see. We got a quick question and see if maybe Philip is on. We'll get more people to go live. Thanks so much. Let's see here. Considering the federal stimulus push into digital currency, what is the safest way to invest? I will keep on telling you the safest way to invest is to leverage mentorship of somebody that sits in the situation, works in the industry that you want to work into, and ask them when something's oversold and buy it. Right? It's something I've learned from 93 to 97 to 2001, 2008 is there's people out there who have been around 40, 50 years in their industry that you want to invest in, that you're interested in. And, one great piece of advice when they can tell you, hey, this thing's oversold, buy it. Buy it if it's oversold and then sell it when it's overbought. That's my best piece of advice. Find those people out there. Let's see here. I'm looking for my boy, Philip. Not on there yet, but I got a great expert I want to join. Karen, let me just see here if we can quickly. Everybody, indexed annuities are amazing, by the way, Josie. That's what I invest in. They're guaranteed. But find those experts, and I can introduce you to some if you want to talk to them about their industries and when things are overbought and safe. Also, when you're investing, Philip's here. Let me jump on with you, buddy. You want to go live with me? But remember two things: time and risk tolerance. So what is your time frame and what's your risk tolerance? Make sure you bring that up to your mentor when he tells you what's overbought, bought or oversold. Hey, Philip, come join me, brother. I'm going to go live. I'm coming off there. Philip, if you're on, he's on. I just can't see him on my live. Let me see here. Philip, come join me. Make a request. I appreciate it. We got so many people here. I appreciate it. While Philip's trying to go live with me, let's see here. If you got to start a business again from scratch at 24, what would you do and why? You know what? At 24, I probably would have built a book of business selling insurance. Insurance has been around 125 years. It's always been here. It's grown. Everybody needs it. It's a relationship business. It's a book of business that creates an annuity. So if I would do it, I would go and sell annuities and IULs, whatever else it is, insurance-based products, and been fair to people, good to people, provide value to people. So that's the business that I would have started at 24. And you still can, by the way. And if you want to know where to go, I know my man Marshall Falk is building a big office doing that. And he asked me the same question. And I told him what I thought as he transitioned as a Hall of Fame football player. And he wasn't 24, but super smart. Anyway, let me see here. Philip, I can't see you on there. I'm gonna go live, buddy. Where are you at? Anyway, let me take another question real quick. Sorry about this. How important is reading for you in business? Oh my gosh. It's not just reading. It's surrounding myself with mentors, reading, podcasts, everything that you do. Listening to cartoons because my wife just turns the TV on behind me. We got everything going on to learn, acquire knowledge, develop skills, and most importantly, practicing ending fair. Philip, I see you're on my feed, but can you request to go live with me so I can hit that? Because I do not have you in there requesting to go live. I see you on here. So sorry, I got the amazing Philip Stutz. He is an amazing digital marketer, has done it in politics and in business. If there's ever a time to understand that, please, this is the time. I really want to go live with him. And here we go. There we go. All right, Josh, how are you? Good to see you there. Thank you for helping him out. We're getting there. Awesome. Joining. I hit him. What happened to you, Philip? I'm not sure. He's on there and then he dropped off. I apologize, everybody. I'm losing people here. Let's answer another question. Um, can we go live? I have a question about goals and manifestation. Yeah, I'm trying to get to everybody. I apologize. I really want to get to Philip Stutz. If you haven't checked him out, he's amazing. Have you made any recent stock market purchases? No, I haven't, and I won't because of the emotional energy that it takes. I have studied the stock market. I studied the fastest 50 growing stocks in this period of time and looked for similarities, supplementary, and synergistic capabilities that I have so that I can make more money. But I do not waste my time, energy, and emotion on following stocks. I look at the 50 stocks that have maintained as well. So I can see the stability of the capabilities I have, synergistic and supplementary. And I've also looked at the 50 stocks that are most crushed to see in my expertise which ones are oversold, to see what capabilities, supplementary and synergistic, I have to those to assist them to figure out where they are. But I haven't personally. I've told my team what I thought. People have asked me for advice. I'm not a broker or broker-dealer of any type, but in the space that I sit in, sports companies and casinos and things like that, I can give my advice of whether I think it's overbought or oversold as an industry. I saw the request from Phillips. Here we go one more time. This has been interference day, so learn the lessons when you have these types of things. Look for the lessons, the light, and the love, and why my Instagram is having so much fun with me today. Blaine, how are you? I'm waiting for Philip to join me. Grateful for sharing. Thank you, everybody, for joining. That's especially kind. We're working here. I'm waiting for Philip to join me. And I don't know. It just says waiting. Sorry, guys. I'm trying my best to join and get in here. He may not have a connection. I don't know. Answer my question, please. Andrea, what was your question? I apologize. Is it? I'll answer on there. Let me look here. I'm trying to see what I can do. There we go. Let's see here. Looking for good questions here. Simples, I promise. Can you touch on placing achieved by dates to goals? Time's a man-made emotion, so I try not to put dates on my goal. I try to put unlimited limitations on my goals, meaning a minimum amount of time, doubling the amount of money I make as fast as I can, doing it the best I can at the right way at the perfect time. But I find that any man-made construct, time, space, dates, put onto uncertainties are unrealistic and create resistance, voids, and shortages in our lives. So working towards this here. Philip, I'll try again. I keep on hitting you. So it says Philip Stutz is unable to join. I'm very confused. Andrea, how you jump back in the proper mindset? Oh, great question. So in order to jump back, you got to know where you're going. So find your highest frequency in the morning. Set a baseline for that highest frequency. I do it through meditation. Other people may do it through working out, walking, swimming, sitting with a cup of coffee, reading their favorite poem. I don't know. But if you can find your highest frequency in the morning, now you set a baseline. And so that when the ego creates interferences, void shortages, and obstacles to what you want, starts accelerating you in the wrong direction, like your Instagram not having sound 4 times in a row, you stay at center, you find a solution, you continue to be consistent and persistent, and you get online and you have incredible people like Paul and Philip Stutz on here. Even though Philip Stutz, I can't get him on, we'll get him back on and we'll try again, right? We're just staying at center. I'll tell you this, the old Dave Meltzer would be swearing, frustrated, not being able to deal with it. But I'm confident that at the right way, at the perfect time, my friend Philip will come on and give us some great digital marketing advice that he's utilized in the biggest campaigns in the world and with the biggest companies in the world. Told you so. I taught him. The
We're
universe
here.
is trying. The biggest lesson for today, the universe is teaching us how to get back to center, that we're not going to give up, that we're going to live what we teach, and that we are going to get back to center and allow things to happen at the right way, because everything seems to be a little bit off on my Instagram. And here you are, though, to give us the best advice of the day. How are you?
All right. First of all, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you
All
hear
right.
me?
And anybody that was on about 20 minutes ago, no one wants to see you do the splits.
I'm going to put that up on one of those TikTok votes, and
Please
then
don't.
whatever they vote, I'm going to do a TikTok video because I think that's where that kind of content belongs on TikTok.
Well, let's jump in and try to provide value. I'm all ready.
All right, my friend. Well, I was bragging about your expertise in the digital space and marketing and what I call the emotional attachment. You've done it both in the biggest campaigns in politics as well as in business, from startups to Fortune 500 companies. The whole landscape has changed. Just, I'd love for you to describe what's changed in the landscape first, and then we can go into, what could we or should we be doing?
Yeah, so I mean, I just wrote a piece on Medium, and it's kind of picked up a little bit. But you got to look at this as an opportunity more than anything else. I understand there are businesses out there, Dave, that are like done right now. I get that, and I'm sort of not speaking to them. The ones that are out there right now that are like, what are we supposed to do? I mean, yeah, you and I talked about this offline a couple of days ago, just chatting. This is an opportunity. I used to live in a lot of fear. I understand how people feel. When the stock market crashed in '08, I did nothing. I lost a ton of money. I was paralyzed. I get it. Right now, not only am I doubling down on all my investments, but I'm talking to every one of our clients right now, both in politics and on the corporate side, and saying, here are the opportunities that you can look at. So, for example, Google and Facebook announced today they're going to lose $44 billion in the next 6 months on ad revenue. The ad inventory right now is so cheap. The biggest problem we've had for clients is that they're competing in a space with 10,000 other people over the last few months and years, right? You're not doing that anymore. You have the ability, if you double down right now, to own your space. We are seeing this, like we work with a pest control company. Pest control company now is marketing to the fact that it's springtime, bugs and pests are coming in your home, you're quarantined, you need to have a healthy environment. They have green products they can spray around the house, and that message is going to resonate. It's not that you need to go out and scream Corona everywhere. It's I think it's really important this. What does the customer really want right now, and how can you deliver that to them? The businesses that are exploding are the food delivery businesses. Obviously, that's a huge component that people need to think about. And they aren't saying, use us, everybody's using, you need food, use us. No, they're saying, we'll leave the food on your doorstep so you don't have to interact with us. That is a smart play because you're talking to the emotion of the customer. Like, how are you seeing it in your business?
Yeah, I mean, for me, number one, I am talking to you, right? Know my frequency, right? Recovery, fear, stabilization, opportunity. These are capabilities that people need, just like getting food at your door. And I am tripling down to own my space, right? Because there's other guys that have been in my space that closed their doors, right? They've laid everybody off. They've only talked about, how good it is, and, and they're stuck into systems that don't apply for today, where illumination applies today with all the lessons that I've learned through the bankruptcy, through the recovery, through the stabilization, and I've been around from 93 to 97 to 2001, 2008. Most of the people in my space started in 2008, and they got in first, and they've only known growth. And so they've appreciated the growth,
Totally.
and they prepared for the growth until you walked away from $100 million, right? Until you've had a foreclosure sign, not only on your house, but your golf course, ski mountains, and all your friends blame you because they invested with you a few dollars. And when they lost millions, they just used the few dollars they invested into you as, you're the scapegoat. I've learned all these lessons. So I'm tripling down to own my space to help people through the dummy tax that I've paid, the situational knowledge that I have. It's why I'm having you on, because you're an expert that people can use. I'm telling people all the time, the biggest question, what should I invest in, right?
Yeah.
It's time to load the loudest.
Hey, can you hear me, Dave?
Oh, I'm trying. I love working at home. Awesome. Anyway, so
Dave,
taking that into
can you hear me?
consideration,
Can you
yeah,
hear
can you hear
me?
me?
Yeah, it looks like your sound is out again. Can people hear
Oh, hold
me?
on. Oh, oh my God. Do you hear me?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
can hear you, but I'm seeing
We,
the
we,
comments. All right,
oh,
so if you can hear me, let me jump in. I saw a comment a second ago. It said, "What about a mattress and furniture store? Like, how would you market that right now?" Well, first of all, I want to say this. I think the most important thing you need to ask yourself as a business owner or whatever you're doing right now is this: how do you want to be remembered a year from now? Do you want to be remembered as a guy or a woman that said, I lived in fear and I made no moves? Or do you want to say, I lived exponentially? And so that doesn't mean just in how you market your business. Right now, whether you've got Mark Cuban paying employees that aren't working, whether you've got Elon Musk making ventilators, you've got whiskey companies that are making hand sanitizer, how do you want to be remembered in the next year? Because that also goes to how you market your company. And I think it's really important in that. If you're a furniture or mattress store, like the comment I saw a little while ago, first of all, you need to have you need to have a clean, sterilized furniture, mattresses in your house. Can you do free delivery? Can you offer incentives right now that show that you're going to serve the customer? What else can you do? Can you tell a story about how you are taking care of your employees, but in order for your business to stay in, people also have to invest in you? There are a million ways. I am not going to have the answer for everybody. Where you can find the answer is by asking yourself the question, number one, how do I want to be remembered a year from now? Because in a year, we're going to be fine. But did you make a move in this moment, or did you sit on the sidelines and sit on your hands? And I understand how people feel because I did that in 2008. I was living in fear in that moment. And I'm not doing that now. I have doubled down my investments in the stock market. We have gone to every one of our clients and said, here are your advantages. And 75% of our marketing clients who are, the first thing to go is marketing dollars. Our 75% of our clients had doubled down what they're doing. 75%. 25% are out of business right now because they're like travel companies, timeshare companies. Like there's nothing they can do. I get that. I understand that. I have empathy, and I told them, you're out of your contract and we'll work with you when you're ready and come back. But for those that have opportunity, take advantage. This is your moment, and you need to understand that.
you nailed it. And I think on the economic side, but also, as you and I both know, on the mental, spiritual, and philanthropic side, what are you going to be remembered for, scarcity or abundance during this time? And
Yep.
so, I think there's no better time. If you're in that 25% that there's nothing to do, then go volunteer somewhere and help somebody, right? I have a saying, be kind to your future self. That doesn't just apply to doing good deeds, which 25% of you that have nothing else to do and sit there and are calling me going, what should I do? Go do good deeds,
Yeah.
right? Create a void for yourself. But
Yeah.
moreover, there's something called do good deeds when I'm talking about economically. Go do good deeds for our community, for the flow. Money doesn't stop. It just slows down. It doesn't disappear. It just slows
That's
down.
right.
When it slows down, it's time to double, triple, and quadruple down. And no better place, like you said, than building your brand and building your community and getting customers, because I used to say it'll never be cheaper than it is today. Well, it's
Never.
cheaper than it was yesterday somehow.
Right.
It's time to buy. Things are
Right.
oversold.
And it
If
doesn't mean
Go ahead.
you're going to make money right now, but you're going to have an exponential growth in 6 months. And so where do you want to be? It's so like, I'll give you a couple examples of other people we're doing this with. We work with an organic supplement food company and they make products. Everybody wants clean organic products right now. Everybody in that marketplace has dropped off. We are going, this guy, the owner of the company, is going all in. I love that. We work with a $1 billion title company. They're a B2B marketplace. They serve real estate agents. We are marketing. They're the only title company doing virtual closings of houses. Like there are advantages in everything. I'm telling everybody this right now because you learn through metaphors. So take what I'm telling you right now and apply and think through what you've got to do for your business.
Absolutely, man. I really appreciate you joining me. We're going to do this again because our little IG hiccup, but I'm going on live every day. I want you back on so we can do this again. Reach out to Philip. He is a genius. If you have either something in the political realm, but most importantly in the corporate realm right now, he is the expert. He's the guy you want to double down, triple down with. That's what I'm doing, and you can see where our brands are going. So thank you, my friend.
All right. Thank you, brother.
You're awesome. Wow. You can see the comments. When you got the right people on, Paul and Philip, I got the 2 P's today. For some reason, everybody else's name starts with J in my life. But the 2 P's today, Paul and Philip, thank you so much. I can see the comments. We lit it up. We persevered through the technical difficulties. I'm going to do another live every day. We got training tomorrow. So join me. Go ahead. Text me at 949-298-2905 to join me for training. Free training tomorrow. We're going to train on the road to revenue, careers, a few other things. So go ahead. Join me tomorrow on training 949-298-2905. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate your patience. Right? We don't say sorry. Thank you for your patience. Go triple down and double down on something that's oversold, like digital marketing. All right? Talk to you soon.